First of all, I wanted to tell you I was in my 20s when this occurred. What I wanted and what I got was two different things entirely. See, had been in and out of bars for months, looking for a young, sleek hourglass of a woman that would just get on me and ride me like I was the best stallion in the league. Somehow I kept coming up short. I didn't have a lot of pride in myself either. There was this one woman that stood out. She stared at me a lot. I just didn't have the nerve to walk up to her and introduce myself for some reason. She just fell out of my league. Anyway, long story short, I went home and clicked on a website and browsed hookups. Was tired of being alone and wanted a casual encounter. I was amazed. I came across the very same woman that was in the bar. I could not believe it, so I messaged her and she messaged me back. She said she wanted to hook up that night. I couldn't wait. I was so excited. She wanted to meet at a local Waffle House, so I accepted and we met there an hour later. She saw me when she walked through the door and told me she had been looking at my profile for weeks. She won't. She wasn't really hungry for waffles, she said. Just wanted to hang out at her place. I wasn't creeped out, let's face it. This was like a dream come true. This looks like a complete score. Hell, let's face it. Who eyes dream girl at the bar, wants her and walks away with her? Not guys like me. I have always been the geek, the nobody. No girl is interested and have always gone for whatever I could get. Never look at risk, but here I am, taking a massive risk and coming up with one amazing catch. Awesome. So I followed her back to her house, and she had a 2-car garage. Didn't think much of it at the time, but she told me to put your car in the other garage. I have an angry ex-boyfriend. She didn't want him knowing she was with anybody at the time. So I thought, sure, this is a pretty good call. Went in and she fixed me a drink. Wanted me to loosen up a bit. We were going to have a real good time, she said. She unbuttoned her shirt and I was on go mode. She looked at me and said, calm down, Tiger. Finish the drink first. So I knocked it back like it was nobody's business and stood up because I wanted to claim my prize. That's when it hit me. I was getting dizzy. What's wrong, Tiger? Feeling dizzy? Don't worry. I'll take good care of you. I felt myself limp, weak. I was falling out of consciousness. I was tired, just dead to the world. I awoke and felt bindings on my arms. I was naked, and the back of my head hurt bad. I was able to raise my head. I looked around, and there she was, a few feet away, sitting in a lounge chair, smiling at me. You wanted to play, Tiger? We're gonna play, she said. I was frozen with fear. In all my life, I had never felt so helpless. I knew then and there I had made a horrible decision. No one knew I was with her. No one knew where I was. No one knew when I was coming home. I knew that I had been drugged, and I knew whatever she was up to was not going to be good. So, Tiger, you think of women as meat, as your little sex toys, and you just can't grab us and prey on us anytime you want. One thing is, you're the prey now. I jerked my arm as hard as I could away from the bindings. They wouldn't budge. I felt bad, strained in my arm. She walked up to me. Oh, come on. It's not going to be all that bad. You'll see in time. This is probably what you wanted anyway. And besides, those restraints, they're only to protect you. See, the real restraint is in the back of your head. You can try to leave this basement, and the device I've put in the back of your head will turn you off like a light switch. Observe. She held up a notebook with a video. I made several of these little devices, she said. Steve here was my ex-lover. He was big, just like you. He decided he was going to try and leave while I was out doing a little shopping. He didn't make it, see. The video was short. A guy walking through the door, just in front of me. His head, I could see the back of it as it popped, spewing out vertebrae and brain matter. Relax, Tiger. I don't want to kill you. That's not what this is all about. You see, I'm an nymphotic. See, every man I have ever been with just don't want to satisfy me enough. And that's all. I want out of any relationship. It's just to get my freak on. I don't know what you think, but I don't have the kind of stamina. Lady, fuck nuts. I said, if you wanted sex, you could have had that all you wanted out of me. She laughed and said, oh no, just the tip of the iceberg. I want you to be there for me every time I need you. Every second I need you. Am I not beautiful enough? She walked up to me and she slapped me. I am not everything you want in a woman? I said, yes. But what the fuck? You drugged me. You put me down here. This shit is just disgusting. She laughed. You'll get used to it, she said, and climbed up on the place where I was restrained and climbed up on me, top of me. I wanted to resist her, but she had given me something. Viagra or whatever. Funny, this was all I wanted, but I didn't want it like this. She took me in her, had all she wanted, and used me like a complete object. It was the most disgusting, most distasteful experience I had ever had in my entire life. She even went down on me. Looking back, I know what she did. It was about power. She had control over me, and there was nothing I could do, or so I thought at the time. But that night was just the beginning, and enough grim details. I won't bore you with all the in-between talk of how she mesmerized and tormented me. She literally tortured me with sex. She rubbed me raw for weeks. I suffered from not just the Stockholm syndrome, also way she made a crucial error one night and brought in a cell phone downstairs and was talking to someone. She didn't realize she had slipped until it was too late. I had her down, choking her. I could hear the voice on the other end. Catelyn! Catelyn! Pick up the phone, Catelyn! Catelyn is dead. That fucking bitch had tortured me for weeks. Call the police. Whoever was on the other end of the phone hung up. Long story short, Catelyn was in the pretty little velvet robe, and she had intended on using me one more time. Only thing is, she got her little big O, I guess you'd say. She sure grasped a lot as she left this world. I could hear footsteps and poundings upstairs. Police. I screamed, downstairs. She is down here. Hurry. I don't know that she's dead. Hurry. I heard a loud bang and 2 cops were downstairs. One of them held a gun on me. For crying out loud, look at your surroundings. Don't you see the table over there with the bindings? This crazy bitch has held me down here for weeks. The one cop recognized me. This man has been missing for a month now. Aren't you Jay Sloan? Your parents have been on the news twice this month. What the hell's going on? I smiled. It's one long story. I can't leave to tell it right now. You need to call a bomb squad and maybe a doctor or two. She put explosive device in my head. And if I leave here, you'll have a bloody mess on your hands. I kind of want to live to tell about it, even though it's a one disgusting encounter. It took them about 7 hours to get the device out of my head. It could have went off at any time. She had damaged the charge when she put it in, and let's just face it, I'm either the most unlucky son of a bitch or the luckiest son of a bitch that has ever lived. To tell a tale. I don't even want sex anymore. I'll probably never want it again. I can't even look at another woman. I'm so disgusted. Freaky, paranoid, scary, disgusting nymphomaniacs. Let's not meet again.